Your video game OST of the day is The Third Sanctuary from Deltarune Chapter 4. This song is probably my favorite from Deltarune so far. It's got a lot going on, and that's saying a lot for this game. Dynamic intros, rhythm game elements, real vocals, absolutely ridiculous amounts of leitmotifs spanning a decade of both Undertale and Deltarune's collectively titanic musical dictionary. Listen, if I had the time, funding, and executive function, I could probably make one of those unhinged multi-hour video essays on Toby Fox's musical works. I firmly believe he's one of the best game composers alive right now, and I think I can back that up. I'm getting off track. Let me just start with the actual premise for The Third Sanctuary itself. The Third Sanctuary is a reprisal, or maybe a remix, of the Second Sanctuary, which appears in the section prior, where Susie opens a dark world to try to get the code to make it into the main hall of the church. That was an inverted, corrupted version of the first Dark World. Walls become floors, floors become obstacles, and generally every interaction with the world and its inhabitants is disorienting and confusing. And the music reflects this in a lot of interesting ways. For one, it's pitched down half a semitone, as in it's basically playing between the notes on a piano. This gives it kind of a strange feel to the average listener who's used to listening to stuff that uses standard pitch. The time signature situation is also pretty crazy. The intro is in 9/4, the A section is in 6/8, and the B section is in 10/8, which is pretty uncommon. And if you squint your ears and eyes a little bit, the main motif being used here is actually a flipped version of Dark Sanctuary's motif. This really helps to drive home the disorienting feeling that Toby Fox is trying to convey. The Third Sanctuary, both the Dark World and the song, double down on this feeling. It's a frantic rush through a dark world that's falling apart. The song sounds pretty similar to the Second Sanctuary at first, but a lot has changed. The song is tuned down another semitone to E flat, or D? I'm not sure, we're working in half tones here. The parts are the same, but they're shifted back by half a beat, giving the song a different feel with the same melodic lines. And I think the most interesting thing about this version of the song is the time signatures. The song starts with the 9/4 intro, and then 11/8. Holy shit, man. This is basically a compound time signature. It's easier to express it as 5/8 plus 6/8, or this if you really want to break it down. Except for this bar, which has an extra 4 beats added for 15/8 just to keep you on your toes. Then it's back to 11/8. And this goes back to the 10/8 section that we saw in the Second Sanctuary. And then the breakdown starts. At first, I couldn't count any of this out by ear. I had to break out an audio workstation to actually count out each of the beats individually to figure out what the time situation was here. It's super syncopated and kind of hard to notate. I'm just a rando who took a music tech minor in college that really likes game soundtracks and weird time signatures, so I'm just going to try my best and brace for people to tell me I'm wrong. If I'm counting it right, the time signatures are 11 beats for 2 bars, then 10, then 12, back to 11 for 2 bars, then 12, and a 12-beat fill to end the section. What in the actual fuck? Before you even have time to mentally recover, it's back to the 11/8 and 10/8 sections from before. And after a brief section I notated as 10/4, I guess Toby Fox didn't feel like he got his point across earlier because the final section is in 23/8. That is compound 12/8 and 11/8. I'd say he really didn't need to do this, but I actually think this is a great example of what makes Toby Fox and his team's work on Deltarune and Undertale stand apart from others of its ilk. A really deep understanding of video games as a medium and how every facet of a game, all the way down to the time signatures of the songs, can be leveraged to better evoke emotion, drive narrative, and subvert player expectations. This song was a high point even among the other stunning work done for Deltarune Chapter 4, and I'm super excited to see what Toby Fox and his team have in mind for the rest of the game and its soundtrack.